What is going on, Alpha Hunters? Hope everybody is doing well today. Um, I don't know, is something going on today? It doesn't really seem like anything's going on today. Just a little bit of bullishness out there. Yeah, we're seeing just a little bit of bullishness out there. Um, whew, what a day. That's all I can say. What a day. So we definitely seeing a lot of bullishness today. Obviously, the gap up is due in large part to the CPI data, so we'll get into a lot of that. Hopefully, everybody's doing well, not panicking. Probably wasn't too unexpected. I think we were talking about that a little bit yesterday. Nothing too unexpected. Just a lot of bearish sentiment out there. A lot of bearish sentiment out there. Kind of figured if we did get that pop, it was going to be pretty hard. What's going on, Diet? How you doing, brother? We did get that pop today. It was going to be pretty brutal. We are seeing a pretty sizable move higher. Good. I'm glad you're doing good. So yeah, seeing a pretty good sizable move higher. Wasn't anything I don't think we didn't expect. Talking about it yesterday. So there was just too much bearish sentiment out there, and I think today's move kind of crushed a lot of bears, man. I mean, today we went through two major stop loss areas, right? Obviously, there's a pretty good stop loss area at above Tuesday's high, and then last Tuesday's high, a little bit over a week and a half ago. So on November 1st. So obviously, we went through both of those. We actually gapped up over obviously Tuesday, but last Tuesday traded right through it. So far, holding above it. So yeah, a lot of people probably having a cause for pause to be bearish, which I kind of like. I really do like it. We'll see where we kind of go from here the next couple trading sessions. I was definitely kind of hoping, over the next like week or two, the market kind of falls asleep and trades a little bit higher, kind of choppy, maybe even goes sideways here for a few trading sessions and then maybe pops higher for like two or three, maybe like next week or Thanksgiving week. And then that would be a good time to possibly get in bearish as then we go to the last few trading sessions of November. But I'm loving the move today. This is fantastic because I would much rather be getting in bearish in the blue zone, right? In the blue box zone. I'd much rather be doing it here than the previous kind of line in the sand I had, which was way back down below the November 3rd low. So this is great. I'm really liking this. Based on my line in the sand now, I guess you could say yesterday's low or maybe even today's low. We'll see how maybe the market kind of chops around maybe tomorrow. Maybe just kind of maybe steadily goes higher tomorrow and Monday. If it kind of just does that, it can hang out. I would be willing to say the low, basically, if we get below today's low, that might be it. That might be the line in the sand moment. Okay, so not really wanting to put it there yet. I still want to say it's probably more of Wednesday's low, yesterday's low, and if we get below that, it's game on. But we'll see what the trading sessions look like here over the next like few trading sessions, maybe like two or three. And if we can just hang above, go sideways, start to chop around, just trade higher, that'd be great. Look good. Going on, Rose. How are you doing? How you doing, bud? Rosebud. Yeah, we've got a lot, kind of quite a bit to look at. Good. Yeah, I'm doing really good. I'm glad you're doing well. Glad you're doing good. I'm doing real good today. Even though I'm down. I mean, I'm down actually on the day just because of all the spy puts, But I'm loving the opportunity we're gonna get here in probably like 2 weeks. I'm really loving this move. Really liking it a lot. Yeah, so a lot of bears probably getting crushed today, right? We can take a look at the dollar and stuff, but take a look at the VIX. I mean, this VIX move, whoo, that is brutal. That is brutal on the VIX. It actually came down and actually got below 23. Been saying the past week or so, watch out for 23. 23 is a pretty important level. I'll just go to a weekly, and the reason why I say 23 is I'm gonna go back to 01 and then look at the 07 as well. So we topped out like somewhere like right in here, back there, and the VIX kind of moves very much sideways. I think the major sell-off was obviously. I think this is it right here. This is it. This is the major sell-off, and then looked like we were all good, and then we had another big one later on. But basically, anytime we kind of get to that 23 area, or just below it, I mean, that's kind of where the market starts to look a little bit more bearish. So we might get below it. We might actually get down to like the 20 area, but anytime it kind of gets down to 23 at least, kind of got a little bounce spot right here on 23 on the VIX. So 23 is a pretty good spot. Had a nice little bounce here. That is typically when you started to see the market top out. Oops. On the VIX. And all right, here we go. So kind of the same thing here. And I guess it's actually a little bit harder to see. Let me do something. Let me get that off of there. Let me overlay the SPY or the SPX. That might be a little bit easier to see because even I'm having a hard time seeing this. New price scale. There we go. All right, let me go back to 2000. There we go. So you can kind of see this one's pretty good one. You kind of got a little double top here on the SPX, this little orange. But when the VIX got down to like 21, that was the high that we actually made in that move. And we then started to move down, but the VIX actually even went further down. So it's going to be something to kind of watch as the VIX makes these huge moves in the bearish direction. That's typically when, that's when you got the peak here on the market back in this move. This little peak right here corresponds with this bearish, hugely bearish move on the VIX. And the VIX here got all the way down to like 2114 or so. So, and then it went a little bit lower, but the market had already started trading lower. So it's going to be watching out for that kind of situation, right? Where the VIX is going lower, but the market's now going lower. Market's already peaked. That kind of stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what, yes. Can you overlay the SPY? Sure did. Great minds think like, yeah. Sure do. Yeah, it's just kind of interesting to see how like some of these peaks correspond with not like the bottom in the VIX. Like the VIX might potentially keep going lower, and the market's already topped out and starting to move back in the bearish direction. And then basically that was the bottom of the market. Yeah, so that was basically the bottom of the market. Okay, and then let's go to 2007. Yeah. So you got this little rally. This is kind of the rally I think we're kind of in right now, our current marketplace. Kind of lasted a few weeks. It went from roughly March to May, so maybe last 2 months. And yeah, you kind of see a nice little breakdown here. And the immediate retracement actually of the VIX, they actually corresponds pretty well with the market kind of peaking out at that time with the VIX kind of dipping. But this is a nice little breakdown here, even on this candle right here on the VIX. Got a nice little breakdown here. Clearly breaks this entire uptrend, breaking down right here on this week. And then that was basically right here. That was most of the move back in the bullish direction, right? I mean, we went a little bit higher than over a couple weeks, but it wasn't like that was, I mean, that was marginal, right? It was marginal. It went a little bit higher, nothing crazy. So that's kind of a interesting way to look at that. I really do want to see, because if we just go look at today's, looking at the weekly today, so we've got a very clear kind of uptrend that we've kind of had here. Kind of would like to see it break down a little bit, break that down, that uptrend, and we kind of did back in August, July, August, when we went on that pretty good rally. And so I would really like to see another one of those where we kind of break down, maybe come back down to the 20 handle again on the VIX. And we might actually do that with today. I mean, we might just go chop sideways long enough to where the VIX just kind of comes down. We'll have to see if that plays out. But Corey, man, I saw your chicken tenders, dude. That's awesome, man. Good for you. Yeah, it's always good to be making money. Any day you can make money, that's a good day. Get this overlay off. All right. What is the market doing now? So it's kind of interesting. The market initially didn't want to break through the high that it had last Tuesday. At first, it got up there and it just kind of didn't want to get through it. You could tell there's definitely resistance there, and then it got through it. It cleared out everybody that was sitting there. It just took long enough. And then nice little pullback kind of back into that area, and then now it's just continuing to trade higher. Intel's been okay today. We're not seeing a really strong move in my opinion. Like a intraday move to me, and you can look at the daily charts and it, they'll be like, "Wait, what? It looks like a huge move." I mean, yeah, a lot of it has come. I mean, Apple gapped up 5%. It hasn't. It's up almost 7% now. So, Apple's had a good day. Or Apple actually, I think, gapped up 4.5%. Yeah, Apple gapped up about 4.5%, and then it's moving up like another 2%. So a lot of the move's been on the gap. There hasn't been a whole lot of move, especially like on Intel. Intel doesn't match the same candle that Apple does. We'll take a look at a lot of different stocks, see how a lot of different things are moving. Obviously, the big tech got a huge bump out of this, but it hasn't been like a whole lot of intraday running. So not a lot of intraday buyers kind of stepping in the market. A lot of it was all pre-market, then gap up and stuff. So if you didn't hear, obviously, I'd imagine probably most of everybody here heard. Inflation came in at 7.7%. The expected was 7.9% or 8%, depending on who you listen to or where you get your expected numbers from. So yeah, obviously it's a lot. That came down. That's pretty good. There's kind of some hidden messages in that 7.7 number. I'll kind of go through some of those. I'll just click on this article and just kind of run through some of these numbers. 7.7 increase over last year. Okay, thank you for the autoplay on ads. Okay. 7.7 over last year with a 0.4% increase over the prior month. The expected on this article was 7.9% with a 0.5% month over month. On a core basis, which strips out food and energy component, prices rose 6.3% and 0.3% on a monthly. And then the expected on core was 6.5 and 0.5. So what that would tell you out of the headline is it all came out of core, right? Core dropped 0.2%. Well, that was what we saw. The core, the headline drop was 0.2%, right? So obviously you can dig into and see like what are all the different baskets that really dropped off. A big one's going to be used cars. Used cars dropped a lot. Trying to see if I can get a quick highlight of what rose and what dropped, and if it calls out each individual one, I'm not going to care. Yeah, I don't really care to look through all that. But what's interesting to know, okay, is all right. So when you have prices falling, okay, when you have prices falling, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It says you don't have to worry about inflation because inflation's coming down. But the bad news is, and here's the bad news, and this is what the market is quickly going to turn to. Market is quickly going to turn to economics, okay? GDP, jobs, and that kind of stuff. And with the drop in prices, basically that says people aren't buying. How are you doing, sub? So people aren't buying. We've had a drop in prices. That means the economy's bad. That's what we're about to like go into, right? People are now going to start to talk about the economy a lot more because it seems like inflation's potentially a little bit more under control, or it's at least moving in the right direction. It's at least, coming back down. And so you're probably just going to hear a lot more of the market responding. You're going to see the market respond a lot more to economic numbers, okay? Production numbers, export numbers, GDP numbers, jobs numbers, all that kind of stuff. So even though the inflation number has come down, it still doesn't look that great because the economics of the numbers don't sound like a great economy. And it was kind of like it was a double-edged sword. They kind of had to do what they did. Talking about the Fed, they kind of had to do what they did. You got to get inflation under control. I really kind of appreciate Jerome Powell for managing a very difficult situation, but I think they've done a really good job of it. Anyways, so that's kind of my take on it. I don't think it's like it's full steam ahead, bullish market. No way. The market's now going to turn to the economy and how much damage has been done to the consumer, confidence, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, we're starting to see things really kind of get hit. So, let's just take a look and run through the dollar rates and that kind of stuff. So the dollar's getting dropped pretty good today. Let me pull up the moving averages here. Actually got below the 100 already. So I looked at it earlier. It was kind of like right at it. I wouldn't expect this to really drop off much more. I would expect maybe more of a sideways movement. It'd probably go a little bit lower just because today's move is a pretty large one. So expect this to come a little bit lower, probably just consolidate sideways. And I expect this probably to start moving back up. Rates kind of dropped off pretty good. We'll take a look at the 2-year. Rates, I don't know. I'm not super sure that they're broken yet, but the 2-year is still looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm not too confident to say that the rates are done. Not yet. Gold, we were talking about this yesterday. I was kind of mentioning, hey, look for possibly a pretty good pullback here. Consolidation pattern. I'm just going to move this up. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to say, hey, look for this and probably look for a consolidation as it comes down. It'll probably be a little lower consolidation than what I kind of have lined out here. But look for it to kind of retest. Here, I'll just drop some of these price levels. Look for it to kind of retest back into the support resistance line right here around the 159 area, 159, 160 area. That would be a pretty good spot to probably start getting in and looking for a push, probably up into the 200 moving average. I really like this move today. Makes a lot of sense. HYG had a very nice gap up today as well. Nice little retest today. It hasn't really been climbing throughout the session. Nice little retest. Really, after the first 15 minutes. Honestly, I didn't realize it was that strong in the first that week in the first 15 minutes. But yeah, I thought I'm done. What do you mean you thought you're done? Did you go to sleep or something? But yeah, this looks pretty good. I like this. I got back all I lost day before yesterday. Nice. Yeah, I always like those days. I always like those days. Those days are nice. Yeah, HYG though, probably going to continue to push a little bit higher. I don't really know if it actually gets above the high that it had back in October, so this is going to be kind of interesting to watch. Also, I'll take a look at the VIX one more time. So yeah, VIX kind of coming down, getting to that 23 area. I would definitely just look for some consolidation. It might come a little bit lower, but I would just definitely look for some consolidation action. If the VIX goes lower and the market starts to go lower, I would be careful. I would start to look to buy puts. I would start to look to buy puts. We'll take a look. Well, I mean, obviously we'll look at that every day. But if we can get some sideways action here, whenever the market kind of stops going up on a daily and we get some sideways action, that might be roughly the end spot of this little bullish trend that we've kind of been on. So, we'll take a look at that every day, but it's let it do its thing. Let it run. Any thoughts on Diz? I saw they missed earnings. I saw Jim Cramer call for the CEO to have his job removed, and I was like, bro, you're the crappy investor. Yeah, they missed on top line, which is never good. Yeah, you don't ever want to miss on top line, especially if you're a company that big. They missed on bottom line. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know too much about Disney, but I like where it's. I mean, let's just look at the long term. Like, yeah, honestly, I like it. It's gonna be ugly for a while. Disney's gonna be ugly for a while. It's gonna be ugly for a while. Very nice support level that it had back in even 2015. That it's kind of sitting on. It still hasn't gotten to its COVID low, and that's where also the 200 moving averages on a monthly time frame. Monthly time frame. So, yeah, I think it's okay. My opinion. If it breaks through this $80 price area, which is 9 points under where it's currently at, it's probably just going to come all the way back down to about the mid 40s because that's where you got a lot of support. You got a high back in 98, 2000 and 2011. So there's not much structure. Not much structure in between where it is now in 90 and then all the way down to the mid 40s. So that's kind of my thoughts. If it breaks 80, it's probably just going to go to like mid 40s. I don't know if it'll break 80. I mean, Disney, dude, even though they missed on earnings, they still make a lot of money. They still own a lot of content. It's pretty difficult to screw up running Disney. And you know, they can always he can always change his mind on how he's running things. So I think they'll get their shit together. I wouldn't be too worried about it. And dude, I don't know why people are calling for Disney, like the CEO of Disney's job. Like seriously, they've been caught up in market sell off just like everybody else. So what's the problem? So I don't know. Whatever. People call for people's jobs like that. That's just retarded. My opinion is retarded. The watch list is all looking pretty good today. FSLR is looking really good. I'm looking for still that bearish, man. I'm liking that it's not breaking out today. It didn't get above the high from last week on FSLR. I'm liking that a lot. All right, so I'm gonna look at SPY and I'm gonna look at Qs, and I'm gonna put on MACD RSI, and we're gonna look really into kind of where we are because I remember. I think it was last week, a couple of days ago, we were really kind of looking at this RSI, MACD stuff, and What I'm kind of interested in knowing is this recent stochastics, is it going to break the high from November 1st, the high that it had there? Kind of interested to know that. Kind of watching the histogram on this MACD. Obviously, over the past few days, it's been coming down. It's looking like it's probably going to start breaking higher. And then as it kind of breaks higher, it forms another hump somewhere. Kind of curious how that kind of lines out, because I mean, this is definitely setting up to be a divergence, right? Because we have a higher high on the SPY. We took out that high from Tuesday, a week and a half ago Tuesday. So since we're taking that out, currently the indicators here are saying divergence. So definitely something to kind of be cautious about. On a weekly time frame, the stochastics could be very interesting here, because this is still a divergence. We got lower highs here on price currently, and we have a higher high here on stochastics, and the stochastics is now starting to get to like more, I know it's still in the middle, still in the neutral area, but it's still kind of creeping its way slowly, and I didn't realize it's on a weekly, so it's going to take a couple of weeks for it to kind of play out that way, but to get to that oversold area. And I'm not really sure if it's going to do that, but I do like how this is getting to the more oversold area while we have lower price action on a weekly time frame. That's looking pretty good. Monthly, yeah, still saying bearish. So, all right, let's take a look at the Qs. Qs, same kind of deal. Here's what's interesting about the Qs, though. Here's what could be real interesting about the Qs. So the Qs have not taken out the high that it had at the end of October. Okay. So the high of this recent bull run that we've been, our bullish move, this bear market rally that we've had here on the Qs, was on October 25th, that Tuesday. Two Tuesdays ago. Well, not 2 Tuesdays ago, 3 Tuesdays ago, but 2.5 weeks ago. All right, so since we have not made a new high, and we are still roughly, I'm just going to check this real quick. We are still roughly 2% away. Still 2% away. If we just have small green candles and kind of just chop sideways over the next few trading sessions, watch out for the stochastics. It's going to get into the oversold area, which then if we have a lower high on price action and then a higher high on stochastics into the oversold area, that will be bearish. So it definitely going to be watching the Qs. Qs definitely seem to be the one to have more of a clear signal on a daily time frame than the SPY does, in my opinion, currently. So yeah, and it kind of makes sense. Qs are really tied to tech, and tech has been not performing all that well. So yeah, it's definitely be watching. We'll be watching that the MACD stochastics on the daily on the Qs, because we'll have to check that out next week, see kind of where we are. DIA seems to be pretty good. IWM has not taken out the high from last Tuesday yet. Has not done it yet. DIA has not moved much intraday. It has not moved much intraday at all. Okay. So that's just interesting. I wanted to just check through some of that, because with today's pop, I just wanted to see how some of those indicators are kind of reacting and changing as we just kind of run through and do some of that homework. Just do some of that homework. But yeah, I think right now the Qs on a daily with the MACD RSI definitely could be one to watch. If we just kind of slowly chop sideways, maybe slightly bullish, but we're 2% away from that high of last 3 Tuesdays ago. So if we do move up 2 more percent, we'll take that out. I don't want to do that because I would like it to be a little bit more clean for bearish indication to go bearish. So hopefully we don't on the Qs, but I'll be watching that for sure. Let's run through the big tech. Microsoft, nice gap up today, running right to the 50 exponential average. Last time that Microsoft did this, they had earnings and they got crushed. So they don't have earnings this time, but we'll see if they break through the 50 exponential moving average. My guess is they probably do, and they probably just don't hold it here over the next couple days. If they do get above it for like 2 or 3 days, I would look for the comeback. Apple, just check on Apple real quick. Getting above the 20 exponential moving average, almost getting to 145 today. Definitely probably will get there. If it does get there tomorrow, I mean, I'd be picking up bearish positions, but I will not be on the mic tomorrow. I'll be traveling out of town, but they're not going to die by Monday, so I might just look at it on Monday, and if they do get to 145 tomorrow, I'll just put on the position on Monday. I'll put the position on Monday. Even if they do start to come back a little bit, or if they go a little bit higher, I don't mind. Honestly, with how bullish today is, probably need like maybe a day or two to kind of settle out and let the market potentially slowly tick higher. You're going to get some follow through probably tomorrow, and maybe for the next day or two. So, Apple. What about Alphabet? Oh, Alphabet. Alphabet's making its way back into this lower previous kind of support area around that 95 area. I was definitely saying watch out for that. If it gets there, I would be a little cautious if it gets there. Amazon was having a nice day today, up 12%, dude. Yeah, watch out if Amazon gets back in that 100 to 104 area. There's a lot of resistance in there. That breakdown it had from the summer, that's gonna be pretty big time resistance. All right, and then let's Tesla had an okay day. I was looking at this one earlier. Obviously, just like with the rest of the market, gapped up pretty good. I guess a lot of investors, obviously, over the previous couple of trading sessions, definitely had sell orders that they just wanted to be out. Had kind of mentioned to watch out for Tesla after these kind of breakdowns here, back into the 100 to 10 to 195 area to 200 area. I guess 190 to 200, right? 190 to 200. Watch out into that area, because now that it's broken down, it might just reject from that price level. So I'd be a little careful now about Tesla. And then, all right, so that's Tesla. Who else is out there? I'm gonna look at the heat map, and this is why I hate these heat maps, man. But everything's green today. And Home Depot and Lowe's are having a day. Check that out. Man, look at that. Home Depot. So Home Depot's also got earnings here in the next couple days. When is this? Next Tuesday morning. Home Depot will have earnings. Home Depot and Lowe's look really good. Man, they are breaking out today. Let's check crude oil. Let's see what they should be. Crude oil and some of these commodities. Oh, man, really annoying. Gasoline, yeah, not too bad. Natural gas. Okay. So not too bad. And then Exxon, obviously, energy's got hit pretty good. The energy stocks got hit pretty good yesterday. So they're not really doing much. A lot of the things that seem to be leading, a lot of the big tech that's been hammered for much of the year, right? We're seeing Nvidia's up 12%, Apple's up almost 7%, Google, Microsoft, both up about 12%. Amazon's up 12%, or Google, Microsoft up 7%. Amazon's up 12%. For whatever reason, Home Depot and Lowe's think they're tech stocks now, and they're up about 8%. Visa, MasterCard. So yeah, it's real interesting to kind of see all the things that have been crushed all year and all the bearishness that have been in on those guys now are having a really good day. AMD, let's check some of these. Ooh, AMD's finally getting out of this little channel that it had been in. Up 14%. Jesus. Yeah, a lot of things though are getting really close to retesting previous support areas and could just be rejection areas. Nvidia's getting close to one as well. There's actually Nvidia's in that zone. Yeah, Nvidia's basically just in that zone. What about like 155 to about 165 ish? So anywhere kind of in there, Nvidia's gonna have a little tough time getting through there. Texas Instruments, not doing too bad. Micron, not doing too bad. Cisco, okay. Cisco, why are you selling down so much? Man, Cisco sold off pretty good on the open, but hasn't really recovered. They got earnings here in a couple trading sessions. So yeah, it's TSM. Man, look at that. Wow. Look at that. Look at this, man. It just ran right to that top. Whatever the support line was, man. It just, I mean, not 15 minute, one day. Look at that. It just came down right to there, basically just kind of double bottomed in there, and it has taken off over the past 5 trading sessions. Really helped out a lot by today, but it, I would imagine it probably does roll back over, take that out, but man, it definitely respected that price level pretty good. I would really like to see it kind of come back down to this 45 area. That'd be awesome. It might not. I don't know. It might not. We've got a 100 moving average right there, right in the halfway in between. If it probably settles on that 100 moving average, and then maybe break down, probably doesn't hold, but just flashes down there maybe for like a week or two, gets down to like under 50, and then probably bounces later on. Be interesting to see that, see what happens. Kind of curious what some of these guys look like on monthlies. MD, Nvidia. Let me know if you got any questions, anything that you want to look at, anything you want to talk about. Feel free to let me know. We could definitely talk some crypto. There was definitely some big news there yesterday. Crypto, and I kind of been meaning to look at crypto actually today. Let me do that real quick. Crypto, obviously the 2 previous trading days, FTX, one of the larger brokers out there, exchanges out there, they had some liquidity issues. Binance was apparently in a deal to acquire them or bail them out, kind of thing. After Binance kind of looked at their books and all that kind of stuff, basically said, "Yeah, we can't help you." They apparently it's that bad. Okay, it's that bad. Here's the thing: Bitcoin is broken down. Bitcoin has broken down and is basically going to retest here. Definitely being helped by CPI numbers today. Obviously, everything's kind of being helped out by CPI numbers today. I have a hard time believing that it's going to break back above all of this support. So anything between 18,000 to 18,500 or 19,000, it's just going to be resistance. Just going to be resistance. So here over the next couple days, I think it's going to be a little bit tough for Bitcoin to probably get through there. Imagine it probably just gets into that area, probably just looks to roll over. And as that probably happens, earlier in the year, Bitcoin was kind of leading the market in the bearish direction. That might happen this time. People might just start pulling out of all financial assets as crypto market goes. So, I mean, we'll see if that happens. I'm not really one that's a believer that the crypto market should be driving the financial markets, but hey, just saying that's what was happening. So, if it happens this time around, it happens this time around. It's not a big deal. It's gotta be aware of the situation. I don't really have too much of the trade interest that I'm really kind of looking to do. Let's talk about that. We got into a hedge yesterday. It was a bull call vertical. It was on AAPL, and it was a good stock to do it on. Kind of figured a lot of the selling over the previous several trading sessions that AAPL, if the market did pop, AAPL would pop even stronger than the market, and that's basically what has worked out today. Obviously, Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon were obviously way better choices, but Alphabet worked, or AAPL worked. Not a big deal. Definitely did not cover the losses I'm having on the SPY puts. You know, it's not a big deal. The other thing is, you know, not too concerned with it, right? Because we were getting into the SPY puts back over here as we got pretty close to the 390 level. You know, as it got to like 387, 388, that was when I was getting into my first SPY puts. And so, yeah, I kind of expected the market to kind of go a little bit higher. I was okay getting into a little bit of a position. That way, if the market did just roll over and reject, had some exposure to the bearish side, but still looking for a little bit of a retest higher to get into more stuff. I don't want to do it right now off of today's huge move, as the market's probably just going to continue to move higher over the next couple of trading sessions. And then wherever that line in the sand we can kind of get to, kind of see where the market kind of gets to and kind of peaks out, we find that line in the sand, and that would be the end spot to say, hey, whatever the last bit of capital you had in, you wanted to get in, as you've layered in whatever you got left over, you just kind of get in at that point in time, right? So if it winds up happening, here over the next couple of trading sessions, trade higher, trade lower, trade a little bit higher, and then just kind of slowly chop around here, especially as we go into Thanksgiving week, and then we have bigger breakdowns. If we do something like this, where it's kind of just slightly higher but kind of sideways, if we do something like that, the line in the sand for me is going to be today's low. The line in the sand will be today's low. This is what I will be looking for. If we can kind of do something like this, if we go a little bit higher than this, choppiness, fine. I don't expect we're going to make a run up to 410 or probably even over 400. I don't think we'll get over 400 even. But if we can do something like this, the line in the sand for me is going to be that 400 or below today's low. Okay, so I might add in a little bit as we start to be choppy in here for a few days. I'll add in a little bit more on the SPY puts. And then if it looks like we're starting to break down, I'll add in maybe a little bit more. And then if we break down that line in the sand, that's when I'll add in the rest of whatever allocation I was wanting to go in with. And that'll be it. Then I'll be into that position. But this is something I kind of figured was going to take weeks to kind of work out. And it's definitely taken weeks to kind of work out. We'll see what happens here over the next few trading sessions, but definitely expect tomorrow, probably just lean a little bit bullish. Maybe we close down, but we'll definitely probably take out today's highs. I can almost guarantee that. We would probably definitely take out today's highs. So kind of looking for something like that. Might work out a little bit longer kind of time frame. Let me see if I can maybe extend this out actually. Yeah, it'd be maybe something like this. Because that Thanksgiving week might be a little bit of a sleeper And I'd be really curious to see really what the market does that week. Yeah, something like this. My gosh. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it works out, but something like that, kind of just all janky, sideways action. Whew. Man. Kind of looking forward to the opportunity. I'm really looking forward to getting it next year. Gosh, I'm really looking forward to getting out of this bear market. You got to do too much analysis in bear markets. Analysis in bull markets is easy. You wait for the day where it drops like 2-3%, you buy it, and there it goes. It goes on like another 4 or 5% run, 6% run. You look for like a 2% pullback, you buy it, and it goes like on another 5% run. And does that the whole way for years. It's kind of crazy. What you know? What I want to take a look at some LAC SQM. Yeah, SQM. Yeah, some of these guys are doing pretty good. Man, what was that other one you brought up, Sub? Long-term ideas. Where's it at? ALB. ALB. Let's check that one. Thank you. Thank you, Rose. I don't know who brought that up. Yeah, oh my gosh. Bro, stop going higher, man. I want to get in lower. Yeah, that looks so good on a monthly. It looks so good. ALB. I ain't chasing it, but I do want in it. All right. Kind of interesting. RSP is almost performing exactly with the SPY today. They're both up 4.6%. It's kind of crazy. You don't see that one often. ALB did get away. ALB did get away. Yeah. That's a move. I'm still pretty hopeful that they'll pull back pretty good with the next, bearish move we have on the market. We can get in. We'll be able to get in. I'm pretty confident in that. Pretty confident we'll be able to get in. I really hope this plays out. If it plays out perfectly like that, I'll be shocked, but I'll be so happy. Really gonna have to watch the Qs. I don't want to see the Qs take out that high that it had in October. Really don't want to see that happen. Yeah. I don't want to see that happen at all. What else is moving out there? Oh, let's check out the financials. Yeah, those guys have been doing pretty good. SGML. Traders are all over, but I don't know anything. What's SGS? Is that a ticker or SG? Because you say SGML. Traders. I don't know anything about it other than Brazil. Sigma Lithium Corporation. I saw. You know what? I meant to watch. I saw you post that video. In the Discord. I meant to watch that this morning. I kind of got. I might actually do that tomorrow while I'm driving. I'm not driving, but while I passenger, for 5 hours. So I might watch that while I passenger. Not during my driving time. During my passenger time. I don't really get into podcasts too much, so if it's super long, I won't watch all of it. I might try to see if I can skip around and find some highlights. I'd be curious to understand. But look at some of these financials. JP Morgan. Podcasts are just like too much talking, too much fluff for me. I want more of I want more of the meat. I don't want all the potatoes and carrots and stuff. I don't want the bread. Bring me the steak, man. Bring me the steak. JP Morgan, man, ripping. Some interesting details on mining and source countries. Okay. All right. I'll be interested. I'll be interested to hear about some of that. But then again, I don't have much to do tomorrow if I'm passengering, so I might just listen to the whole dang thing. All right, JP Morgan looking really good. Goldman Sachs ripping. Yeah, I wouldn't be bullish right now. Not on some of these guys. ALB has a mine in Australia. Huh. All right, the down under area. Yeah. Man. Yeah, financials are looking real good. Not JP Morgan. BLK. Oh, man, look at BLK. BlackRock up 12% today. Jesus. Oh my gosh. Blackstone up 13%. Woof. Man, those investment managers, they were screaming higher today. All right, they are looking good. Yeah, they were looking good. BLK and BK. Yeah, looking real good. That's a lot of volume coming in today too. That's looking real good. Okay. Interesting. City. Oh, City was the other one. I couldn't think of them. 7%. Man, there's so much stuff just ripping today, dude. That is, you can tell how many people were short. Like there was so much people short or short, but bearish on the market, and man, it just. I mean, I saw some thumbnails right on YouTube. I'm sure you guys saw them too. Some of those clickbait, headlines like, "Oh my God, this is gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be a freaking disaster," and then all of a sudden, I was like, man, that's just too much bearishness out there. That was one reason why I put on the hedge yesterday. I was just like, man, there's so much bearishness. It's just not about it. It just makes sense. The market just freaks people out, man. Like that's what the market's best at doing, just freaking people out. CSX. Yeah, railroad's starting to look pretty good. UNP looking pretty good. NSC. Norfolk Southern looking pretty good, up 5%. Yeah, railroad's looking pretty good. Dad, I hope you got some of your railroads, man. Man, that was a super good retest right there on NSC. Look at that. Boom, right into a pre-COVID high. It might double dip there here maybe over the next couple months, but next time it gets down to that level, you better be buying it. Railroads. Nobody wants a monopoly. Everybody wants them in real life. Can't do crap without them. All right. What else is out there? What else is working? Oh, Visa, MasterCard. Visa. Yeah, especially after yesterday, man. Visa, I remember that. Visa had a horrible day yesterday. MasterCard looking pretty good. Yeah. A lot of things looking really, really, really good. Really just too good. Just a bit too good now. I like it. We just need a couple days. Market shakeout. Volatility continue to drop. Meta. Oh, Meta. Netflix. Yeah. Let me check Netflix real quick. Man, those 2-week trades that we got in there over earnings. Solid. Worked out perfectly. Netflix actually probably continues the run. I like this pullback it just had. Didn't quite fill that earnings gap, but it did actually get down to the highs actually that I had like back over here in April and then right here in August. I would kind of think about maybe doing another vertical option for next Friday on Netflix. I won't though, but I mean I could definitely make the case to do it. Meta. Yeah, Meta. Man, I'm not butthurt, but I kind of wish I didn't get out of that position yesterday, but it made sense just to get out of it because I was already up huge on it. Yeah, looking solid. Looking solid there. Meta probably is going to get back above this 120 level. I have a hard time. Jesus. I have a hard time believing that Meta continues to break down. I mean, it might. It's just going to be really choppy and doing it. I doubt it's going to come all the way down to this level. It might. It might. See if they can turn things around. Yeah, I mean, Amazon, dude. Amazon's crushing thing. Ooh, Amazon's coming back. Yeah, that mid-morning pop, something looks like something came out about Amazon because Amazon ripped it for 15 minutes, and the market doesn't really have it that strong. So I don't know if something came out about Amazon. Let's check the news bulletin. Amazon deploys Sparrow robotic system. Is that really it? Oh, Gap. The Gap partners with Amazon. Was that it? Maybe that might be it. Might have been it. Yeah, that might have been it. Check the Gap. What is the Gap? I forget. Is it GPS still? Yep, it is GPS still. I can't believe people still wear the Gap. I see their commercials all the time. Oof, look at that double bottom. Kind of trying to form a double bottom here. Definitely needs to get above 1187. Definitely needs to get above that 1187 area. I will be putting out a market outlook video today since I won't be here tomorrow. I'm going to keep it pretty short though, since I'll miss tomorrow. I don't expect a whole lot tomorrow. Today's market doesn't really continue after huge moves like this. Usually has a resting day. I would expect it to take out today's high, but that's about it. Probably it might close a little bit higher, but I wouldn't expect like another 1 or 2% up. If we start to continue to do some of that action, yeah, we might really test a little bit higher. I don't think we're going to do that. All right. Let me know if you got anything else to look at. But let's start to run through what we're looking for here. So the market's continuing to kind of push higher here as we go later in the day. Led a lot by tech, right? Big tech is getting some breather moments today. Big tech is getting some breather moments today. AAPL obviously jumping pretty good, 7%. Oh man, 7% on AAPL. That's crazy. How large that is. That is, which how large AAPL is. That's a huge move. Microsoft, Alphabet, they both moving about 7%. Meta up about 10%. Amazon up about 11.3%. Nvidia is looking pretty good. AMD was looking really good. Yeah, so things are looking really good. Oh, I wanted to look at cat and deer. I want to look at cat and deer. The industrials have been looking pretty good. Cat. Oh, nice gap up. Retested lower in the first 45 minutes and looks to be continuing. Interesting. Okay, deer. What about deer? Same kind of day today, but they're a little bit farther away from the all-time high than cat is. Cat is getting really close to that all-time high. Honeywell's not even close, but they had a lot better of a gap up today. 3M. Man, look at that buying opportunity all down there. Anything sub 130 was a buying opportunity because people just bought that up. Looking real good. Probably just keeps going higher. It's gonna be choppy. So it's gonna hit the 200 moving average eventually coming down. So probably get in there, chop around. Does not make a new low. Probably will not break this. Anytime it gets back down to like 115, 110, I'd be looking to buy it if you could. IBM. I want to look at IBM though. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. Wow, that month of October was huge. IBM getting close to a resistance level at that 145 area. Pretty tough area. Basically kind of just getting into that zone now. So either it breaks out and retests into it and then can pick it back up, or gets up there and look for a pullback. Probably just continues to go higher later on. Yeah, IBM. I think it's probably going to go on a little bit more of a bullish run now. It's a long time consolidating. It's a long time consolidating. Jeez. Guys, that's about all I got today. There is a lot of bullishness out there. A lot of it was probably just driven from so much bearishness that was out there before today. A lot of people probably trying to close short positions, buy back puts, all that kind of stuff. You know, there was bullishness, bearishness everywhere. So now we're just kind of seeing all that kind of getting reversed out. We'll definitely take a look next week. I don't expect huge things tomorrow, but I do expect us to take out today's high, no matter what. I don't know how much higher we go, but definitely keep your eye on the VIX. Definitely keep your eye on the VIX. If the market starts to roll over, the VIX starts to drop, or VIX starts to rise and the market starts to rise, be really careful with that. But yes, I will have a great day and a great weekend. You too as well. But guys, give it a few days. There's nothing really out there that I would say you need to be into. If you didn't position yourself today for the bullishness, it's pretty much mostly done. I would just say wait. Just wait. And we'll look at things next week and see what we can kind of position into. Hopefully the market will start to fall asleep as we get closer to U.S. Thanksgiving timeframe here in 2 weeks. And we can get into some good bearish plays. After that, I'd imagine we'd probably sell down some pretty good. But you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for being here. I'll get the market outlook out later today. And I'm going to keep it probably pretty short. So you guys have a great weekend and take care. Alpha Hunters as the usual. Alrighty? Take care, guys.